Brett Hundley. So who do you think was the fastest of the coaches out there?
Coach Mazzoni looked real fluent in his stride lengths and getting his arms up. He was running with the lineman in the back, but I figured he just didn't want to turn on his speed and show us all, how much speed he had. But I know deep down inside he had it in him. So I know he's the fastest.
Is that just sweet talking to get the
never.
job? Oh,
No,
you would
never.
never do that.
Nah, come on now.
But technique-wise,
he had the stride length up, everything. He head down for about 10 meters, and slowly raised up. He was good. He was good. I liked it.
So just talk about the competition right now. I mean, how do you think things are going?
I think things are going real well. To be honest, after last year, I'm gonna be honest. I really not worried about you guys. This is Hess right here. I'm not really worried about anything about that. What's up, y'all? Anything about that. So every day I'm just trying to get better every day. So as long as I do that, whatever happens, happens.
Only so much can really happen over these 15 days. Are you guys kind of all looking at spring ball as your one shot to get the starting quarterback job, or just the first shot? 'Cause you have all the summer and then fall ball.
True. I don't know. To be honest, like I said, I don't know. We come out here and try to get better every day, and then the coaches would decide when the time is right to name the quarterback.
It seems like you've taken on kind of a leadership role with the team. I mean, there was that one day with Gassers where you started running with
Alberto,
there at the end. I mean, is that something you see yourself taking on?
I'm just trying to come, do what I came here to do. Naturally as a quarterback, you want to lead a team. So last year I was a true freshman. You can't step on toes here because there's a lot of leadership already on the team. But this year, I can start getting a little more vocal, or saying stuff to the players. So there's a lot that's come in this redshirt year as far as developing with the players and getting a relationship with them. So now when I tell somebody to do this or else get on them for that, they don't take it as, oh, this guy just got here. You know what I'm saying? Now they know who I am and what I'm trying to do. So they see that, and now it's like, okay, we understand what you're saying now.
Brett, so much of your game is your legs and your feet and just being able to kind of create on the move.
Yeah.
Being in a red jersey, not having contact, doesn't really let you highlight that as much.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that, how you feel like you still have that part really to show these guys.
Yeah, I always thought that's a big part. In practice, you can't really fully understand just how much you can do with the legs, or, judge if that was a tackle or that was a, missed tackle. So in practice, I use my legs when I got to, but mostly in practice for me, it's getting the ball out of my hands and just getting better throwing the ball and trying to get better in that aspect. And then the game time, when everything's live, then we can really see,
what you
get
can
down
do.
or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your footwork last year was something that you talked about wanting to improve. How do you feel like you've done just so far in spring ball?
I think it's come a long way, a very long way. This offseason I worked really hard at the footwork, and surely because footwork ties in with everything a quarterback has to do. As far as accuracy and reads and everything like that. So I worked real hard on that, and it's showing. It's showing. I can feel myself more fluent and natural with my throws and being more accurate with the ball. But like I said, everything you can't perfect anything in one off season. So I still got work to do and still trying to get better with it.
Have you? It looks like you've actually changed up your motion a little bit. You're throwing a little bit more over the top. Is that something that Mazzoni talked to you about?
Yeah, for sure. Mazzoni, when he first got in, last year with my footwork, I always feel like I'm off balance. So you always have to sidearm something. But now that my footwork's gotten a lot better over this off season, I'm able to come over the top of the ball instead of sidearming it. So now that's why I said it feels a lot more natural and fluent. So now everything's coming over the top like it should be, and I just got to fix up the finer details of it.
And that's all about having a stronger base.
Yeah, stronger base, foundation, make sure your feet don't hitch. Everything as far as, rotating your hips and then being able to just come over the top.
You don't want to talk about the competition, but do you think you've done everything do you think you've done what you set out to do in terms of expectations and, really doing what you think you can do?
In this 15 days, I felt like I've showed what I can do. I've showed bursts of the growth I still have that's to come. And like I said, I'm still a redshirt freshman, so I still have a long time to grow. And that's what I said, every day I just try to, come out here and get better, and that's the goal. But I felt like I've showed a lot of what I can do and how much more I can grow as far as, learning the stuff and doing the things necessary as a quarterback. So, like I said, I've come out every day, feel like I'm getting better. Just, it may not be a lot better, but, at least every day I'm getting just that much better. So I felt like, every day I'm learning something new and mastering my craft. So, I felt like I've had a pretty good spring ball. Just got to finish off strong.
Cool. All right.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks,
Thank
Brett.
you, man.